Hi students, 11th Standard Commerce, Chapter 2, Objectives of the Business, Detailed question number 1, explain the characteristics of the business. There are 6 essential characteristics of the business. The following are production or procurement of goods, sale, transfer or exchange, dealing in goods and services, regularity of dealing, profit motive, elements of risk. Let's discuss in detail about the characteristics of the business. The first one is production or procurement of goods. Goods must be produced or procured in order to satisfy the human wants. Okay, what is meant by production? Production is nothing but production means produce a goods or manufacture the goods in a factory to satisfy the human wants. Okay, what is meant by procurement of goods? Procurement of goods is nothing but which means a businessman bulkily purchase the demanded goods and supply it to the satisfy the human wants. Okay. So each and every businessman must need to know to satisfy the human needs and wants. As per the customer's needs and wants, a producer produced the goods or procured, which means purchase the goods to supply the needed customers to satisfy the human wants. Okay, so that is called business. This is the main characteristic of the business is to purchase the goods or procured or produce the goods to fulfill the human wants. Okay, the second character is sales or transfer or exchange. There must be sale or exchange of goods or services. When a person views a clothes for his personal consumption, it is not business because there is no transfer or sales. Listen, how can a product or goods reach the customer or ultimate customer? Only because of sales. So, there must be sales or exchange of goods or services. The exchange of goods means the act of trading. The exchange of goods and services means the exchange of product or services for the other product or services without using money. Listen here carefully. What is meant by transfer or exchange? The exchange of product or services for other product or services without using money, that is called exchange or transfer. Say for example, butter can be exchanged for bread, which means barter system, which means the needed product should be reached to the ultimate customers from the producers. This is the main character of the business. Say for example, what is meant by sales? Listen, a woman as a mother cooks or prepared food for her own family. It is not business. Why? Why? Because there is no transfer or exchange or sales, but the same woman prepared food or tiffin and sell it to the outsider. That is called sales. Okay. Due to the sales, revenue will be there. Transactions is happened. Listen here, a woman has a mother prepared food for her own family. It's not business because there is no sales within the family, right? The woman prepared the food only for her family with love and care. Feed with love and care. There is no transfer or sales, but the same woman prepared food for sales, then that is called as business. Where there is food is supplied to the customers from the producer, this is called business. This is the one of the main characteristics of the business. Okay. The third character is dealing in goods and services. Goods produced or procured may be customers' goods like cloth, pen, brush, bag, etc. The producer goods like plant and machinery. Services refers to activities like supply of electricity, gas or water, transportation, banking, insurance, etc. Listen, what is meant by dealing in goods and services. Dealing in goods and services. What is meant by dealing in goods and services? Listen, in which one is a business deals with? A business deals with goods and services. Okay. Listen, there are lots of dealings needed in between the producer and the ultimate customers, right? There are lots of services needed to reach the product or goods to the ultimate customers from the producer, right? The services of such as transport services, we need a marketplace, we need a warehouse or godown to keep the product safely, we need a insurance to protect the product from the theft or natural calamities or some other losses. Okay, and we need the advocate, right? And to start a business, we need the bank loan. Okay, so and in other way, to run the business, daily, day to day business operation, we need manpower and sufficient money. Okay, so services refers to activities like supply of electricity, gas or water, transportation, banking, insurance, etc. The next character is regularity of dealing. An isolated dealing in buying and selling does not constitute a business. The transactions must be regular. For example, if a person buys a scooter for his own use and later on disposes it off at a profit, he cannot be said to have been engaged in business. The buying and selling must be recurrent to constitute business. Okay, what is meant by regularity of business? Regularity of dealing means the consistency. Underline what is meant by regularity of dealing? Consistency in business. Consistent, which means consistently exchange of goods and services over a time. It is a fundamental characteristics of the business. Say for example, a business must have a regularity or constituent in production, distribution and delivery of goods and services to earn profit. So, what is the characteristic of the business? A business means a regular and continuous process of dealing. The buying and selling must be recurrent to constitute the business. Okay. Listen, say for example, if a person buys a scooter for his own use and later on disposes it off at a profit, he cannot be said to be having engaged in business. Okay, because it is irregular. There is no consistency. So, what is meant by consistency? What is the regularity of dealing? Say for example, regularity and dealing means the same scooter. Take a scooter company. Say for example, TVS scooter company or Bajaj scooter company or Enfield scooter company produces a massive scooters and bikes and sell it regularly, sell it consistently. Okay, so it is the continuous process. This is called as regularity of dealing. Okay, so say for another example, if a person buys a laptop, single laptop for his own use and later on disposes it at a profit, he cannot be said to have been engaged in business because there is no regularity. The regularity of business needs transaction must be regular. Take a laptop showroom. We can see the laptop showroom. Okay, they have a different variety of branded laptop showing in the showroom. Okay, where the regular sales, that is called as business. They buy regularly from the laptop manufacturers. Okay, and they sells the laptops, a different variety of laptops regularly to needed customers. So, regularity of dealing is the buying and selling must be recurrent and constitute the business. Okay. The next one is profit motive. An important feature of the business is profit motive. Business is an economic activity by which human beings make their livings. It is in fact the attraction of a profit which spurs the people to do business. Okay, for what motive we run the business? To only to earn profit is the only one motive to run the business, right? So why do they do the business? Because of the attraction of the profit which spurs the people to do the business. Okay, the last characteristics of the business is the element of risk. The profit that is expected in a business is always uncertain because it depends upon a number of factors beyond the control of the businessman. Okay, so the business means a state of uncertainty where some of the possibilities involves a loss or other undesirable outcomes. The sources of business risks are varied but include the change in the customer states and demands. Say for example, if the business runs very well, then they earn the profit. In other side, if the business not run properly, then they get the loss. So what they tells us, all the types of business have the risk. All types of business faces the risk, right? So business is always uncertainty because it depends upon the number of factors that control the business beyond the businessman. Okay, so here some of the factors affect the business beyond the business and they have given below. The first one is change in customers' preference. Okay, say for example, a customer might choose the electric car over a petrol car because it's more environmentally friendly. The another example for the preference, customers' preference, change in customers' preferences. Customers prefer cold coffee during winter season and hot coffee during the summer season. Okay, so this is the change in the customers' preference. The second factors that affect the business beyond the businessman is shortage of raw material. Say for example, shortage of raw material leads to decrease the productivity. Without the necessary of the raw material, production lines may slow down or may halt. It may reduce in the overall output. The third factor to affect the business beyond the businessman, that is transport bottleneck. What is meant by transport bottleneck? What is bottleneck in transportation? A bottleneck is a delay in the normal flow of transportation. Where there is a delay and obstacles in supply chain can be exasperation as heavy traffic. So transport bottleneck means heavy traffic may affect the business. It can lead to the risk. Okay. Then the last factors affect the business beyond the businessman, that is power crisis. So power crisis means energy. Okay. So the energy catalyzes the business function. Without energy, there will be no business model. Electricity is the essential part of the manufacturing process. In addition to paying for raw material and labor cost, manufacturers must also pay for their utilities such as powers like gas, fuels, water, and waste disposal, right, etc. So shortage electricity leads to loss of the business. Okay, so that's why the profit is said to be reward for risk taking. Thus, any business activity includes an elements of the risk too. Why profit is considered as the reward of risk taking? Because in business, when an investors invest the capital and undertakes uncertain ventures, the profit acts as a compensation for the possibility of the losses or setbacks they might face due to the inherent risk involved in the business decision. Every business faces the unpredictable market conditions and the competitors' actions, etc. Profit considered as a reward for the assuming several business risks. An entrepreneur involves invest capitals and undertakes business risk to earn profit. Profit serves as the protection against those risks which cannot be insured. Okay. So, do you have any doubt? Please comment it into the comment box. Thank you. Take care.